Mommy always wins. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Sheena Verrett, the social muse. That makes you all the muser. So, how are y'all doing today? Good. I got my tea and I've got my tea. You know what I'm saying. Hope all is going well. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. And I decided to jump on at the behest of some of the musers that have been asking me questions about things concerning, our just the epicness of Kendrick Lamar and some of the things that have transpired 2024, 2025. I have kindly referred them to some of the people I've been watching during this whole thing, being Justin Hunt, the company man, being Curtis King, being some of the being Screwface Jean. I'm just gonna pronounce it like that. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for joining me tonight. How you doing? How are you doing? Hey. I see. Yes, I got you. So yes, and Maureen had some questions and whatnot. So yeah, I've been trying to. So I'm going to put some of those links in the description when once I log off, so you'll be able to see some of the things. Let me make this bigger so I can read some of the fun comments because mine is small. Oh, good. Yes, I want to definitely chat about some of it. Some of it as like I said in leading up to it on social media on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm not going to rehash a lot of the reactions to the songs and a lot. I'm not going to rehash a great deal of that, just as much as it pertains to some of just the real life applications of what has transpired that was started off as a hip hop beef and just kind of morphed into something quite bigger. So I'm really excited to kind of get into the conversation. It won't end today. I've gotten there's been so much just kind of on the subject, but I've just recently discovered some other things that I was just like, yeah, I've got to kind of dive into just um, some of the takes and some of the things that we can use as people, just learning from what's going on. Some of it's quite comical, I think. So you can tell me what you think. I was going to play some music, but I don't want to get that's one of the other aspects that this has brought out. This whole Kendrick Lamar, the beef, Drake, whatever, is some of the reactions of the entities that be it YouTube, be it Twitter, what have you, and how they're reacting to some of the words and some of the things that are coming out. So anyway, having said all that, my journey into what has been going on is quite different than a lot of the people that you will see online, because a lot of the people that I've discovered are journalists. They are rappers themselves. They're creatives. They're content creators. They do all of those things in the hip hop arena. And of course, at being a fan of hip hop and grew up with it, but I don't work exclusively in hip hop, which is what a lot of these one of the reactors of the YouTube creators do. So I will kindly refer you to some of those people that have really broken down the lyrics to no end, have broken down um, a lot of the meanings and what have you. But and we'll do a little bit of that, but mostly it's just kind of like what my take is and how it's applied to me and how it just applies to people that I've been in conversation with on the subject. So um, I should say, ironically, not so much ironically because I play this a lot, but so I will just tell you, I was on the phone with Wabiri, who is actually playing right behind me. There she is. Um, And just to preface this a little bit, and oh, that's me. Just to preface this a little bit, I've never been a fan of Drake. I wouldn't know a song of his if if it fell through my ceiling right now. Just never been a fan from day one. Laid eyes on him. I was good. I'm good. I don't have to hear anything from him. Live your life. And of course, Woodbury is the same. And we're, just both musicians. And there's just something, I just wasn't a fan. I think I literally stopped listening to the radio and anything kind of mainstream right around that time, because I was just like, that is this. It just, I was like, okay, well, this is not going in the direction that I like. So I'll kind of do other things and find new music other ways, and of course live shows and things of that nature. So having said that, I'm on the phone with Wabiri, and I'm listening. And now, and mind you, Kendrick Lamar does not just drop songs. He comes out when he comes out. It's every 5 years, whenever he wants to. And I hear music in the background, and I was like, I was like, oh, that sounds like Kendrick. That sounds like Kendrick. She goes, it is Kendrick. I was like, oh my God, Kendrick's got something new. And she's kind of chuckling. She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. She says it's a new song. He's involved. He's in a rap beef right now. He's in a beef. So I'm laughing. I was like, a beef? Like who in their right mind is beefing with Kendrick? Who is beefing with Kendrick Lamar? Like, who is just in their right mind? So I was like, yeah, who is he beefing with? She says, with a pause, Drake. And cue the laughter. We laughed for 30 minutes. It was that kind of laughter that you can't get the words out. You can't get your next words out. You're laughing so hard. I was just like, I'm sorry. He's beefing with whom? So I think the song, so by the time I heard anything, it was Euphoria. So this was, his first full length this to Drake. So I had to, of course, go back and listen to Like That, and then listen to Euphoria, and and all the stuff in between. And it was just, for me, it was comical. I'm just like, you can't, you can't be serious. This man has a Pulitzer Prize. This man is, beyond gifted. Everyone knows this. How do you not understand this? So yeah, so cut paste and brought in this thing. But of course, everything he put out was just beyond. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a question for anybody with ears. It was just a question for the fandom, as it were. So, you have to let that play out. If you're a fan of one, you're a fan of one. That's fine. I was always a Kendrick fan, but to the level where I knew I could not think of, and I have other favorite rappers. I cannot think of anybody on God's green that would actually do that to themselves. Like, you're not going to win. So it was happening. It was happening. So I wanted to explain to the degree as why it was so beyond evident that Kendrick would win, especially this particular battle, because it was evident from the minute she said who he was battling. To me, it was evident from the beginning what this was about. And it wasn't about, of course, they have this long-standing issues with each other, whatever. But it was not, and it's not a war on color or race or any of that. It was a war about culture and about understanding the words that are coming out of your own mouth. And if you're mimicking something and you're saying things and you don't mean it, you don't understand the ramifications of it. So it was definitely a war of culture, and Kendrick showed up in specific spectacular fashion on that note. And in the first diss he had, which was, I believe, was Euphoria, it was just the resounding line is, he's of course going into battle, but he says the line, and when I say we, it's not just me. I'm with the culture's feeling, and I mean, talk about a turning point. And when everybody that's listening can say, yes, that's exactly what that's exactly how I'm feeling. It was just a resounding, like that one line was just like, really a unification of how everybody was feeling. So, um, and to say that also, it's a cultural thing, and it wasn't towards the end of this here, it wasn't about so much Drake the person, but Drake and what he represents. And I believe it's a YouTube, he does essays, he does document essays on certain on hip hop, and his name is FD Signifier, but he does a whole documentation of called I'm with the culture's feeling, on that specific subject, because it we knew it was beyond that, but for it to culminate into something that everyone can see that it was beyond. So, um, to even kind of speak to kind of what Maureen was saying, I will cut and paste a little bit and fast forward, and kind of I'll probably be jumping back and forth a little bit. Um, to I'm just leading up to some of the questions that were addressed to me, as far as trying to get some understanding on the whole phenomenon that has happened. But I was trying to explain to her, like, at the beginning, the people that knew what it was about knew what it was about. And for it to culminate into something for everyone to try to come into that understanding is a big deal, because it does spark all of this conversation, um, and in all different walks of life. So, um, Maureen specifically was asking me about some of the symbolism in the Super Bowl show. And so I think also to understand a lot of that is to kind of know a little bit of the backstory, and to know that that performance was a celebration and a reckoning of all the hard work and all of the contribution that Black Americans have put into America, and that we're America. We are what the culture's feeling. We're always what the culture's feeling. We, are the mark for um, a myriad of different avenues, be it creative, be it technological, be it whatever, entrepreneurial, what have you. So, exciting stuff to see that, but to understand that, you will definitely have to kind of go back into a little bit of the backstory, not only of the beef, but of course of Black America, and in their place here, and what we do here in this country, and how the country is what we built. So I know, a few people were like, well, if he had put this in there, it would have made it more, I could have understood it, or if they had done this or whatever. Kendrick Lamar moves with such a purpose. And even having the conversation, okay, so you got it, you got it without whatever that is you wanted him to add into that story. So it's just more of a conversation of what, how much of it that you got. And but but again, ad nauseum, you can kind of pick several videos on all of the symbolism and everything that he was trying to say. He absolutely represents the West Coast. This is a very big nod to the West Coast. The whole album that he showcased, most of the songs that he showcased uh, in the Super Bowl halftime were from the GNX album, which showcases a lot of West Coast, West Coast feeling. It's just a very West Coast feeling album. And I lived in the West Coast, and in LA for a long time, and it's just undeniable. Just living on, having lived on both coasts, there's such a undeniably different feel in the music, and of course in even in the culture of how people conduct themselves. But it's knowing that you understand or knowing that you don't understand is very important, and that was very prevalent in this whole thing. It's like it's not what you do or don't understand. It's there's a level of respect that you give things that you don't understand, and there's a level of um, stepping back and knowing that you don't understand it. It's it's there's certain every culture has traditions. You walk into a Chinese restaurant, there are certain things that you want there that are traditional to them that you pay attention to, and you very much are aware of. And a lot of those things are not very a lot of those things are not those graces are not given to Black culture a lot of the time, if at all. They're just those graces are not given. They don't, if they don't understand it, they'll try to let's just change the rules. Like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Let's just do it this way. And it's like that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. So we're not changing it, not changing the rules for you. So, and which is ultimately how things were kind of transpired. Like, okay, you're not winning. Now you want to change the rules. Like that's like all everything that transpired was so anti-Black American, so anti-culture. Up to now, I'm going to sue you because I'm not winning. Like this is this is not how we conduct ourselves. So to say all that, like that's pretty much this was a point to say this is Black culture. This is how it goes. There's not a compromise. There's not a you can't move the goalpost. We're not changing the rules. The rules are not going to change just because someone doesn't understand them, or someone doesn't agree with them, or someone doesn't, is not winning at them, especially if it's not your game to play. So and so the and that's big. And back to the Super Bowl, the whole thing was set up as a game, not just the football. And he's a very, he'll double on triple entendre you, not just a football game, and not, it's the game of life. It's the game Black Americans have to play every single day of every minute of the day. It's, it's that upon that upon that. So um that's pretty much, if you it's I think I feel bad because it's very clear to me, but if you hear what Samuel is saying, and he's being the opposing voice, as it were, Uncle Sam, you'll hear him say, well, you're being this, you're being that. There's really no place in history, there's not a day in history where it's fine to be Black. It's okay to be Black, where Black people are winning, or Black people are, we're safe, or any. There's not a day in history where that happens, despite the fact that we are birthing the babies, and we did all the the building of things. There's not a day where there's a respect, there's a anything. So that that whole performance basically you gave a big spotlight to a lot of that. It's like, and I don't think it was misunderstood. I just think the fact that it was done at all is just kind of like, what it's basically, what do I do with it now? Like, what? How do I do with it? How do I apply what I know to tomorrow, to today, to the people I meet, um to all of that? Because that's pretty much what art does. Art asks questions that you'll probably never answer, but you have to keep asking yourself those questions. So I am going to ref- There were a couple of things I was going to read. Like I said, it's going to be a few parts. I wanted to get a little bit of that out, just the little bit of the freestyle part, because, um, like I said, there's going to be, again, there's many um, videos on the subject that I definitely want to put in the description. A lot of fun, very well put together. Will definitely say, a lot of that I would just pretty much regurgitate, but it is something that will be studied for years and years to come. I actually, I have the curriculum. Boom, boom, boom. So some professors actually put together a curriculum. I got it. Black News put it up today, and I downloaded it. I'm going to look at it and see if it kind of jives with some of the stuff that already, that we've already kind of deciphered and broke down and figured out. Um, in that whole performance. And I feel like, to really fully understand the performance, you'll have to understand, from the months that led up to that performance, what um what a prolific run of songs that Kendrick Lamar had. What the fact that, outside of the music, this is what was not lost on anyone, but outside of the music, he didn't say a word. He wasn't doing interviews. He wasn't on Instagram. He didn't, he wasn't, doing any, trash talking, anything of that nature. He wasn't doing any of that. He was just dropping uh, music that was just leaving people with their jaws on the floor, and breaking records. So we'll go into all of that, but I don't know if, leading into this, that he thought that any of his diss songs would garner 5 Grammys, but he did. But one of them did, and actually two of them were nominated. Three were submitted, two were nominated, and one swept every single category that it was nominated for: record of the year, song of the year, video. So it was, and 10 other things I'll have to look at. But so it was just an epic lead up to something that everybody, the expectation of the average person that usually watches the Super Bowl is, we're looking for pyrotechnics, we're looking for shiny bangles, we're looking for, whatever, somebody rising out of the floor and falling out of the sky, and whatever. But for him to give us this simple, artistic, Broadway level performance was, just beyond the realm of what we expected. So yeah, so I am really excited about the conversation that it has sparked, from not just the symbolism, but what it means for there to be, if well, what it means for him to be the only hip hop artist in the history of the Super Bowl to perform, so to get a solo performance. And just to really think about the work that it took for him to get there is, beyond. Um, but for him to use this time to make a statement, because every time, everything he does makes a statement, but for him to make such a loud statement and get the most views in Super Bowl history is beyond the beyond. And I think there's something. I think he has a new album that's going to come up right before his stadium tour. So just FYI. But I want, yeah. Well, somebody had a question. Well, I am. Thank you. Thank you. No, yes, it is. I'm going to, I'm just working my YouTube-ness, and I wanted to put some of the things in the corner here, but I just wanted to talk a little bit. I'm not going to do it right now. I did pull up some of the footage. I don't again, like, I don't think any, if you didn't know before, you know why Serena was there. A lot of people are were speculating, like, okay, she's there to dance on Drake's grave. But you know what? To be honest, we were all there to dance on his grave. You know what I mean? We were. That's what we were all there for. To just kind of revel in the take back of culture, basically. So we were kind of all there for that. But I think this the statement was so much louder than, and of course she clarified, because that's not why she was there. But of course, Kendrick calls you to do something, you're like, yeah, I'll be there. But we all know, the Wimbledon shade from years ago, shade, sweeties. They shaded her for the crip walk. And again, if what is not understood, it's always mocked. It's always, you can't do that because we don't understand it. And that's just a daily, all the time. um, Even the Olympics, the gymnasts, the black girls come up with something new and innovative, and the white girls can't do it. Well, they'll ban that move. And I'm a big, well, I love the gymnastics, and time again I've seen it happen. And I'm just like, how is this a thing? How? Because you can't do it, I can't. Like, it makes no sense. But it makes complete sense. And that's how it, again, the bar is always kind of moved, the way for someone to win and someone to lose. So it was basically a statement, is we're not losing anymore. And it was beautiful. And it was not that you can't win, it said we're just not going to be losing. So and more, actually, well, we had that conversation too. Because someone was like, well, why didn't he just say, F this and F that? It's like, no, that's not how this goes either. And it's not F you, but it is hooray me. Like, I will celebrate myself, but that doesn't have to mean I have to demean you to celebrate myself. That's not how this goes. So, yeah, a lot of people were just kind of really wanting to kind of chat about it. I know I've been going on, and if you have any questions, hey, I know. Thank you. No, yeah, I'm going to put up a couple of posts, and I want to go through that at the curriculum and it's not, I don't even think it's a curriculum like through like Kendrick Lamar's catalog or anything like that, which is an absolute study. But I think it's just the Super Bowl in particular, and they have a whole course curriculum from it. But this is what happens when you're not engaged in everything that everybody's doing, and you're able to kind of look inward and be able to put out such great music. So that's what he's doing right now. I don't see what's your, hey, I'm going to, so yes, what I say, the company man. He is a journalist, and he actually pioneered a lot of this whole space where um, people can really expound upon some of the things in hip hop on a media level. So the company man, what I say, Curtis King, Screwface John. He's also he and Curtis King are both artists, but Curtis King actually is an independent artist that does things that helps independent artists do their thing. I am an avid watcher of his channel. He is really gifted in letting you know what's going on in all of the spaces where you can Get your music out there, do your promotions, your marketing, put the best stuff out there. He does critiques, things of that nature. He's a producer, fun stuff. And then Screwface is a rapper as well. And I actually have some of his music on my workout list. I got Op List on my workout list. Screwface, Op List is my jam. So there's a couple of people in that space. Charles Brown, he's really good because he's just mostly commentary and he cracks me up. But he's very matter of fact. And there's a few people that I've been watching that those are kind of my core people. Like I have a few core people. Like I've weaved in and out of a few spaces and kind of found where some of the people that I think are really giving some of the best critiques, some of the best takes, some of the best commentary on what's going on. So I will put some links in the description. We are going to continue this conversation. Um, I know I should have went live when me and Maureen were talking, but we were just chatting, little coffee talk, you know how it goes. So be sure to hit the subscribe button on your way out. If you didn't on your way in, I will have some more to talk about. I know if you didn't see it, me and Darcy Leonard, my friend who's the tarot reader, you'll see her sometimes at my live shows. She and I did the live reaction to the Super Bowl, and it's on my Facebook, Sheena Verrett. If you want to go check that out, we had such fun watching that, just that first reaction, that first time seeing it. And I will say, I'm going to say one more thing on my way out. Because there's just a lot of the people were just like, that I'm just thinking of some of the stuff. They were like, I didn't know any of the songs. And, some of the songs I'm familiar with. I was like, well, that first song he came out with, nobody knew. It was a brand new song. Nobody knew it but Kendrick, and the people on stage. But I just think that's very innovative to come out with a song at the Super Bowl that is brand spanking new. Nobody knows it. So everybody you have to pay attention. You have to just watch. You can't sing along. You can't mindlessly bob to it because you don't know it. So just little nuggets of brilliance like that really are, just cornerstones to what makes him who he is as an artist. And I think if people are just able to look at it in the perspective of an artist and not anything else, and just be able to just look at what they're seeing, though they can appreciate it. I think at the very least appreciate it. I've seen plenty of Super Bowl shows that I'm not into whatever music it is, but I can enjoy the show. That's what I can do. So I think, so everybody loosen up. Definitely give it a spin, and it's something you have to watch over and over again just to have big fun with. But I am going to revisit this later this week with the curriculum. I'm going to just give it the once over. And if you guys have any suggestions or any views on this, we can definitely expound on it. I just wanted to say, I know there was actually a few other things I wanted to say, but it would be more of a lyrical breakdown. But it'll be more, I can do that. I want to have a guest with me on that one, but it's a little bit more of a little lyrical breakdown, but it's just a couple of lyrics that just really resonated with me. And sometimes it's not the lyrics that resonate with everybody else, but it'll be a few things that'll resonate. So we will continue to explore this together, because this is not a one-stop shop, people. This is this is something we can just continue to talk to, and not really, like I said, I don't want to regurgitate what's been going on, because it's been done very well. And I've been enjoying it, and I would love to just refer you to those people. So yes, that was fun. I love y'all. This is always fun. Oh, my buy button. Steven has my button from SSS Saturdays. He's got one of my buttons. He wanted to be able to push the button. That's good on him. So SSS Saturdays. So yeah, I said I was going to make some announcements. Let me go and make my couple of announcements with my ginger tea. So, of course, SSS Saturdays on Saturday, March 13th. Tune in at Tandem on Bay Street, 225 East Bay Inn. And actually, on the 19th, we're going to showcase Natalie Joy, who has an album out, and she has a new single out called Destiny right now, with my partner in rhyme and crime, Zulu Jones. So, be sure to check that out. And what else is going on? This is March. Oh, I got a couple little movie projects that I'll let you know about. I can't say much more. But I will let you know as things progress. All right. Well, listen, today is Sunday. I'll be back this week. I will be back this week because it's a busy little week, but I will be back this week because I want to talk a little bit more about that. And then I want to touch on another subject that somebody just brought to my attention, but I don't want to do too many things at once. You see, I like to meander a little bit and see what y'all think. Hey, thank you. Well, thank you so much for dropping in. I'm going to get this up. I'm going to put some links in the description, and you all stay well. Be good. I'm watching you. I'm watching the show behind me. You watching the show? Da, 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 da.